Well, quick update on the case against me. This week we're in Belfast Magistrates Court. Tried to appeal the laughable decision of Judge Bagnall, which of course meant that I am the first person to be charged under the Public Possessions Act with a different standard of evidence than anybody else previously charged. Of course, this is one of the issues that will be dealt with at trial, and other witnesses are likely to appear at the trial who were walking beside me, who have already stood trial and who have been acquitted. So it'll be interesting when they come to the court and explain to the judge that they were right beside me, they were acquitted of all charges on the grounds of invoking the statutory defence. However, I'm to be judged to a different standard of proof. So I look forward to Judge Bagnall, if it is her hearing it, or whatever judge it'll be, explaining to the public who are there and the media how they have managed to charge me to a different standard of evidence than the person who was acquitted. Because it seems to be the case that the PPS knew they had nothing. They tried with a few people. All those people got acquitted because the PPS and the PS and I were totally in the wrong in their facilitation of these weekly walks. And now they're trying to plug the gap because they cannot afford for me to be acquitted or found not guilty. So they're doing everything possible to make sure that I'm found guilty. Do I think I will be found guilty? Absolutely. Doesn't matter what I do, I will be found guilty. Doesn't matter how innocent I am. It doesn't matter the fact that all the evidence I have, which is in the public domain, I've published all the interview tapes, you can listen to them for yourself, is absolutely laughable. I'll still be found guilty because my personal opinion is that there is a cabal within the PPS, the PSNI, the judiciary, which is political. And this has been politically motivated from the start. And, you know, we have free speech in this country. And some people seem to think the judiciary are above criticism. I don't like criticising the judiciary, but in my opinion, do I have any confidence in receiving a fair trial? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I think in the Court of Appeal there would be any appetite to acquit me? Absolutely not. It's too political. It's too politically damaging for the PS now. You've already seen how one High Court judge, I think it was Judge Tracy, I think it's him, made a decision and slammed Will Kerr and the PSNI. It was a correct decision. The Lord Chief Justice and others overturned that decision. And I believe, in my personal opinion, I have no evidence to substantiate this, but in my personal opinion, I believe that was overturned because it was going to cause too many operational difficulties for the PSNI. It was too politically sensitive, so the decision was overturned in the Court of Appeal. And throughout the last 2 years, I have come across two judges, one in the Magistrates Court and one in the High Court, who give me confidence that they were fair and they were impartial. And in the High Court, that was Mr. James Weir, Justice Weir, who tore the PSNI and the PPS apart. It was comical to watch them squirming. He made an absolute fool out of them. And the other one was Judge Alan White, who sat in Belfast, and he seemed to want to give me a fair hearing. And that's all I want. You know, all I want is to be treated like everybody else, to be judged by the same laws as everybody else, and to be afforded the same democratic protections and justice protections under the law as everybody else. The fact is that I'm being treated different than everybody else, and that's my problem. I have never asked for this trial to go away. I want it to go ahead because I want to expose how political and how long this has been from the start. All I want is to be judged fairly. And is that too much to ask? I'm not saying drop these charges. I'm not saying let's forget about all this. No, I'm saying let's go to court. Let's put all this evidence you have against me, all the evidence that allowed you to stand up in court and say I was a threat to national security, say that if I was allowed out of prison, that I could destabilise society, out of the mouth of a PSNI officer in Belfast Magistrates Court, in Belfast High Court, I was a serious risk to national security if I was allowed out of prison. That's what they said. So let's come to court and show the evidence that that's based upon. And I think a lot of people will end up very, very embarrassed and with a lot of explaining to do. All I want is for a fair trial. That's all I ask for, to be judged fairly and to be judged on the basis of the evidence. Do I think I will be? No. But we can hope. The PPS, I'm led to believe, would be happy enough for me to plead guilty to one count of obstructing traffic, and the rest of the charges would disappear. Absolutely not. In all conscience, I couldn't do a deal with them. I couldn't give them an easy way out. fought them for 2 years, and I don't think they ever expected that. I think they expected 6 months to a year. I'd be coming pleading for a deal. Let's just get this over and done with. They would get the convictions, and everything's happy. You picked the wrong boy, because I'm going to fight this through every single lawful avenue available to me. And if I don't get justice in the courts of this country, I will go to the House of Lords. I'll go to the European Court. And, you know, people say it's a silly charge. It is a silly charge. But it wasn't silly whenever the PPS were talking about, or the PSNI were talking about national security risks, and that I should be kept in jail, and I was put in the most stringent bail conditions ever in the United Kingdom. So, you know, it obviously wasn't silly to them. So I will make sure I will fight them all the way, because it's not just about me. It's about other political activists. Are they just going to be hauled off the streets, put into prison, put out subject of bail conditions on the basis of laughable charges, trumped up charges? You know, James Dyson contacted me this week, and he advised me that he has decided that it would be in his interest to do a deal. That's entirely up to Jim. I support his right to make that decision, but in all conscience, I couldn't make a deal. I don't think I could live with myself for the rest of my life, because I don't believe I've done anything wrong, and all I want is for that to be tested in an open court. Now, I've written to Gerry Kelly, MLA. I've asked him to come. He sat in the policing board. He knows the discussions he had with ACC Kerr. He knows the position that he took on it and Sinn Féin took on it, in which they said the PSNI illegally facilitated these weekly walks. I don't think the weekly walks were illegal. I think they have twisted legislation to make them illegal. However, that's Mr. Kelly's opinion. So all I want him to do is come to court and explain how he came to that conclusion. I've also written to Gavin Robinson, the Lord Mayor at the time, who was meeting with myself and other protesters quietly, and was acting as a mediator between the PSNI and some of the protesters and the traders. And never once did Gavin Robinson say, oh, by the way, the police have said that you may be arrested here, you know, this could be illegal, you must notify the Plates Commission. And I believe if the PSNI had told Gavin Robinson that, I believe he would have told us. It wouldn't have made sense for him not to tell us. So the only thing I can conclude is that they told Gavin Robinson the same as they allegedly told Sinn Féin, which was that they had no powers under the Public Possessions Act. Will Kerr gave an interview to Alison Moores of the Irish News, and he told her that the PSNI had no powers to stop a plate under the Public Possessions Act. There was no such thing as an illegal plate. Now, unless Alison made that up, I believe it came from the mouth of what ACC Will Kerr. He has never denied that that's what he said. So, if the ACC said it wasn't illegal, if the policing board was told it wasn't illegal, if a High Court judge said there had to be judicial clarity, how in the name of God was an ordinary fella like me expected to know? You know, of course I had to prove I didn't know, which is a different standard of proof altogether, which is almost having to prove my mindset, which is near impossible. But, you know, ACC Kerr, I've asked for him to come to the court. I want him summoned to the court. I want him put out there. And if needs be, I want him put out there in handcuffs if he refuses to come. Because I don't see why he would refuse to come. Because if he's nothing to hide, if the PSNI have nothing to hide, if everything that I have said, if the allegations I have made in my complaint to the Ombudsman about PSNI misconduct, about secret deals I made with people, about secret quiet conversations I had, if that was all lies, if I made all that up, well, all ACC Kerr has to do to exonerate himself and the PSNI is come to Belfast Magistrates Court on the 11th of February, take the oath, take to the stand and call me a liar, expose me as a liar. Because if he doesn't come, he'll almost condemn himself that what I'm saying is true. And what I'm saying is true. And I want the questions put to him under oath. And if you knew the questions that's going to be put to him, and if you knew the extent of the quiet conversations and the secret deals that senior command of the PSNI had and had tried to make, you'd be shocked. And I'm not going to go into them now, because it's best to keep your powder dry. And I have a lot of powder sitting for the Assistant Chief Constable when he comes to Belfast Magistrates Court and takes that oath, because he will be answering some very awkward questions. But of course, if this is all lies, will expose me as a liar. Come to court and explain what you actually meant. Explain what you actually meant. And if you give that interview to the Irish News, explain what you meant in the meetings with Ulster People's Forum when you talked about charges falling off the table for people. If I could use my influence to stop the weekly walks in East Belfast. And then, of course, when I told you to sling your hook, a couple of weeks later, I'm arrested and I'm a threat to national security. I think the fact is, for ACC Kerr and Senior Command of the Police, that I was only a threat to national security because I refused to play ball with them. Had I sung to their tune, I would have never been in this position. So I'm happy enough to be in this position because I never made no deal with it ever, and I'll certainly not be making one now. So I look forward to 11th of February. I want to thank everybody who continues to support me. I want to thank those from different smaller political parties who have come out and supported me, and long may that continue. Thank you.